So we are in the forefront of people's personal lives. These things have nothing to do with us, nothing at all. All of these speculations that are always on the internet around DJ Dira, allegedly, DJ Fresh, allegedly, and Dalez, and all of these things that always pop up as gossip. And then we supposed to have this hoopla ha where the people whose onus it is to go to the police to go report these things don't actually do that. Tulipangolo, allegedly, the queen even went on the internet and was like, Pumana Ndabenzam, because really, Pumana Ndabenzam, we have everyday victims like Twekwe. And Twekwe's mom went to the police, laid a case, and it was a failure of a government system. Now, get me involved anytime about a government institution failing, because what do I do? I'm a voter, and what else? I'm a taxpayer. So those are my employees.
Welcome to an all new episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi B.
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi B. Please say hello, aka the elusive pundit. Honey, how's everybody feeling at the back?
We're good, just cold.
I know, right? That's why I'm watching with a polo neck. So I know I talk a lot of nonsense in between, so I'm going to try not to, because I'm trying to make sure that my episodes are shorter because we've been going over the hour. So the month of June, we're going to be talking cancel culture, and I have split the episodes into three main topics. So the first one is going to be the one we're talking about today, which is cancel culture is cancelled, why we should differentiate the art from the artist. And then the following episode after that, it's going to be who we should really cancel. And I'm going to be talking about the politicians, and I'm going to be talking about corporations and corporate bodies that govern our everyday living. And then the last episode is going to look at the podcast culture. This is inspired by McGee and what he's been doing and him getting called out. So we're going to be talking about the podcast culture, the internet culture, social media, and how we should maybe cancel ourselves. I don't know, but you have to wait until the last episode of June to get into that. So, like I said, today's episode is titled Cancel Culture is Cancelled. Why we should differentiate the art from the artist themselves. And this is inspired by the discourse in social media around what cancel culture is, what it's doing, what it's supposed to do, what it's not supposed to do. And I am for the saying that cancel culture is cancelled. And before we get into all of that, we love a good definition over here at Looks and Wisdom. So we went over to Britannica to tell us what cancel culture is. So they're saying that cancel culture first popped up in the scene in 2016. It was also called the call out culture. It is the removal or canceling of support for individuals and their work. Also for canceling a group of people, organizations, or a company and their work due to an opinion or action that is deemed inappropriate by the masses. The canceling is often orchestrated to deny or frustrate the expression of the called out party, the person who we are canceling, their beliefs or work. And I'll give you just how cancel culture works. So you are first called out on social media via a hashtag or whatever's going on. And then this is to garner attention from the masses via social media platforms. I know X was very big for the cancel culture movement, but the TikTok is also very big on the cancel culture movement. And then once they amass the masses into canceling you for your beliefs or for your work, then they move to the next stage. And this is them putting pressure on organizations that you work with or companies that you are affiliated with that bring about money into your pocket. So they'd call your work and be like, "Brr, hello, Takashi said this. You guys need to cancel Takashi." And obviously, because it's a lot of people doing this at the same time, it puts pressure on the company that you are affiliated with for them to remove you from your work or not book you for certain opportunities. And then sometimes it also leads to boycott. So let's say, who did we boycott in South Africa? Who did we boycott? I can't remember a company we boycotted. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. In South Africa, we're not big on boycotting because I can't remember at the top of my brain a company that we did boycott. Yeah. Anyway, so I know in America they boycotted Walmart, and then that Tabitha Brown chick came and said, "Oh my God, the black authors are there," and everybody was like, "Girl, you can put your books in other platforms," which I supported, by the way. Anyway, so that's how it usually works. And this targeting is usually garnered towards celebrities and famous people. Do you know any regular person that got cancelled? The KFC lady didn't get cancelled. I was supporting the KFC lady for having her own fake KFC at home. And KFC apparently was like, "No, girl, you can't do that." But I don't think she was cancelled by us. Actually, we never cancel regular people like that, which is strange. Anyway, again, based on the Britannica article around cancel culture, I will look at the pros and cons of cancel culture as a whole. So, one of the pros that they say is that cancel culture allows marginalized people to seek accountability where the justice system failed. So, an example of that would be like the Kwekwe case, I guess, where the justice system has failed and then people are calling out the systems and doing to make sure that justice is served. So that's a pro for cancel culture. And then the con is that cancel culture is online bullying, often enticing violence and threats that are worse than the supposed offense being called out. Do you think Scott's situation falls under this, where it's online bullying?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I feel like people have a certain expectation when you're a celebrity.
Okay, that's true. Okay, so another pro is that cancel culture gives a voice to the disenfranchised and less powerful people. I could get that in terms of the Me Too movement because it was bigger than everybody at the time. And then again, the cons is that cancel culture is not productive and does not bring about social change. In the case of McG and his constant bullying of our local celebrities, because it never does anything really. I support the pros, by the way, all of them. I definitely do believe that cancel culture does give a voice to the less powerful. I also believe that cancel culture is a new way of boycotting and a new way of bringing about social change. And I also do believe that cancel culture does allow marginalized groups of people to seek accountability. I also believe the cons too, because cancel culture is online bullying, and we've seen this. And cancel culture is not productive oftentimes. So, two things can be true at the same time, right? T, because you're doing media studies.
Yes.
Okay. So, my essay for today says that cancel culture is cancelled and we should separate the art from the artist. Again, the pros are good, the cons are good. Here's my take: the standardization of opinion. Not everybody relates to what the cancelers are subscribing to. And I will make a very controversial example about what I mean by this. Kanye and the Nazi comments. I mean, when he released that World War III song in Germany, where the Nazis were, that song went number one on the online streaming platforms. So that means that there are people who subscribe to the Nazi agenda, and there is no way of standardizing opinions across board. There are always going to be people who believe in one thing, and there are always going to be people who believe in another thing. And a local example for that is obviously Iran, because we're talking about racism and ethnicity, because I made the Nazi example. In South Africa, we have Orania, and those people are still subscribing to the apartheid agenda. They actually even have their own country within South Africa. And if you go there, you know you're going to experience racism as a black person, but we allow them space to breathe. And that's what I mean by the standardization of opinion. We all don't subscribe to the same opinion, especially about politics, especially about global things. So every opinion that we have and want to cancel people for it doesn't subscribe to everybody. So it's always like a specific group of people that it speaks to. The second thing I want to talk about is the perceived notion of injury to one is injury to all. Injure one, injure all. And that's to say, I went to the Chris Brown concert last year. T, did you go?
No.
Okay, you were broke, you broke.
No,
And I
but
mean,
Trey has biceps.
exactly. And I mean, the R. Kelly situation, I'm sure a lot of people would have gone to an R. Kelly concert if he came. So, and another thing is, we don't know these people on a personal basis. I know sexual assault victims in real life and I help them. You know people who are physically abused in real life and you help them. So, I'm not necessarily in my everyday living affected by what Chris Brown is doing or was affected by what Chris Brown did to Rihanna, what Chris Brown did to Karushi. That's a personal business for him and for the people he's associated with. And I mean, in the case of Chris Brown, Riri did forgive Chris Brown, didn't she? She went and supported Chris Brown publicly. So who am I to cancel people who I don't know in real life? Like, I don't know Chris Breezy. All I know is Chris Brown's music, and that's what I choose to stick to. And again, all I know is R. Kelly's music, and that's what I choose to stick to. And I mean, R. Kelly right now is in jail. What more cancellation can we do for the guy? You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that an injury for one is not an injury for all. It affects like the specific people. In South Africa, we have Java, right?
Yes.
Allegedly. Oh my God, now I have to scream allegedly 5 times. Allegedly. He had his own abuse and essay allegations with Lady Zama. We don't know those people. Do we cancel Java?
Nope.
We didn't. I mean, his latest album was number one.
That's but he went on a theater tour.
Exactly. Mari Buseng. I love that song. Sometimes the red, sometimes the green, sometimes the orange. That's the only thing I know about Java. And then the second example I want to make about this is all of these speculations that are always on the internet around DJ Dira, allegedly, DJ Fresh, allegedly, and Dalez, and all of these things that always pop up as gossip. And then we supposed to have this hoopla ha where the people whose onus it is to go to the police, to go report these things, don't actually do that. And then we cancel, and then the people are back together. Look at what happened with who's this chick again? When we were trying to cancel Maporisa. Tuli Pangolo, allegedly. The queen even went on the internet and was like, Pumanes Nabenzam, because really, Pumanes Nabenzam, she went and put the case up and then she took the case down. And really, at the end of the day, Singenapi and Besingenapi Nasekalin, because really, and I mean, that's what I want to say. So, we are in the forefront of people's personal lives. These things have nothing to do with us, nothing at all. And I mean to say this, we have everyday victims like Twekwe. And Twekwe's mom went to the police, laid a case and it was a failure of a government system. Now, get me involved anytime about a government institution failing, because what do I do? I'm a voter, and what else? I'm a taxpayer. So those are my employees. SEPS is my employees, the NPI is my employees, the government is my employees. So if they're not doing their job, I have the obligation to go doi doi, because it might happen to me tomorrow. I go lay a case and they don't take it seriously. There's a strong distinction between people's personal issues and a failed government system that we all need to get involved in. And that was the case in terms of Gwegwe. It was a systematic failure. And when it's a systematic failure, we all need to get involved because we pay these people to do their jobs. And again, I wanted to say that there's nothing people gain from personal attacks on celebrities, on assumptions. And another example I wanted to add is who's this girl that was dating Andy Lempisane? Stelo. And I remember I subscribed to change.org, change.org.com. What are those people called? But it's like change.org, org change, I don't know. But they focus on victims, and they were harassing me every day to sign a petition. And allegedly, according to the gossip blogs, the queen was doing that to get a check from Omam Kiza, allegedly. And as soon as she got the check, she didn't even follow through her own self with the case that she allegedly had on her alleged abuse by Andile. You get what I'm saying? There are real victims in the streets that need help. The girl who just died now by being killed with the two when she was going on a date. That's exactly what I'm saying. And again, we need to get involved when it's a systematic failure. And I mean, we called out Cyril Ramaphosa, Cupcake, for not saying anything about the GBV. That's a big issue in the country that he runs. And also the femicide. Did we cancel Ramaphosa as a society? No, we did not. I didn't see any cause for us to cancel a president, a sitting president whose role it is to protect the women and children of his country. We didn't cancel him for that. Do we cancel Godongwana, the Minister of Finance, when he tried to increase VAT again, knowing that we are in a recession? We don't have extra money to give to the government. We can't, like, literally, we can't be buying them Porsches all the time. Because what do you mean? Like, all of the real problems that are happening that we're supposed to have a hoopla ha about, you guys know of racism in your corporate spaces. You know HR is marginalizing you, not paying you enough money because you're black. You know you're not going to get that position and it's going to go to Mariki and Yan because you're black. But you're not out here boycotting HR. You're not even boycotting the company that you work for systematic racism that they do. That's exactly what I am trying to say about debt. What else do I want to say? Oh, yes. And I mean, Takashi said something very important when we were working on the script. What did you say, friend?
With cancel culture comes
Yeah.
selective outrage.
With cancel culture comes selective outrage. I want to make a very, 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 very simple example. Is that lady that was trending on TikTok for saying that, do I look like I ate carbs? But if you look at the girl and the skin tea and the Michael Jackson going on, she doesn't look like she eats carbs. I was like, the only bad thing about the video was that she's rude. But again, in the same breath, how many of you guys actually go to restaurants and see people being rude to waiters? Matter of fact, you might be the one who's rude to waiter. I see this all the time when I go to exclusive, expensive restaurants. People want to be treated a certain way and they want to be snarky because of classism to the people serving them. It wasn't a matter of the carb situation. It was a matter of what Takashi's saying again, selective outrage, because what? The queen is a billionaire and folks are jealous because they're like, oh my God, eat the rich, eat the rich. Are you guys going to eat me when I'm rich? But again, selective outrage, it depends on the person. That's why I was like, injury to one is not injury to all. And there's no standardization of opinion across the board. Is there anything that I'm forgetting? We did speak about the fact that cancel culture is personified and for personal preferences. You guys didn't cancel Casper Nyovest when he wasn't supporting his baby mama with the baby. with the cancer. Did we cancel him in real life? No. I have a different opinion that everything that's a personal situation for any public figure has nothing to do with us. And I just want to say that I feel like the cancel culture, I've said this before, takes away from a bigger narrative and bigger conversations that we should be having as a society, like racism, like the VAT going up, like the government corruption, like all of these things that affect all of us. What do you call it? The repo rate going up, going down, and all of these funny things. Cyril Ramaphosa having millions of dollars in his couch. But don't worry, I will be covering next week why we should be canceling the government and the government officials because they really are stealing our money. I don't think there's anything else I want to add except for Scott's Mapuma, because I mean that's a recent thing that has happened.
I don't have time for a picture because if I take one picture with you, I have to take a picture with that guy, with that lady, with that what. Then my time, and then Kausadi, who's not professional. Scott Sofita late, Kodi kicking. Late sitse mang kwe na kodi monyaka video. So people, I don't care. Like yeah, if akinyaki utaya snap akinyaki kana kwewa if akinyaki I don't feel like it. I don't.
And you know they don't understand. They don't understand that. If we tell
how na motho o nkirileng gore ke fitlhe mo ke leng teng vandag. And how na motho o tong ntsha mo ke leng teng ke le mo vandag. So I don't think I owe it to them. I don't owe it to. I don't think any celebrity owes anyone.
but when they feel entitled.
That's the problem. It's their problem. Like if it's not my problem, it's not my problem. Mo ke qualifating grotmanyaka. If nak vaga mdimo.
A few moments later. 3 days later.
In other words, go wonke umuntu engimhethile engikhulume kabi ngiyaxolisa bafethu le like angithi le yilo is straight words ingazongitshela ngama English wena cabanga ukuthi ngizele wena la kuzokhuluma iEnglish mina naba abantu emile bahambe la ngithola but well I apologize guys if mhlambe yazi kunabantu ebebangithanda wholeheartedly umuntu akhale mangifika yibo abantu engibacabangayo labo bese ngiqede abanye vele it's not perceive ukuthi mele bakhale but ke that's when you can see yabona and mhlambe nina zange niyilone la mhlambe zange bayilone but I'm sorry guys I'm sorry kulaba engibahethile abantu ebebangithanda ka like
3 weeks later.
My name is Vijay. I'm 25 years old. Scott Mapuma's back again in the news doing wrong things. And when we call him out, nizothi siyamsukela umntana bantu, nizothi siyamzonda. Guys, people need to be called to order. Celebrities or artists, if you're booked, you people need to be called to order. And I'm a fans, I'm an artist. If you're a Scott Mapuma fan, you can't defend him. You can't think, I just can't hate on the guy. I love him so much. He's such a great personality. But guys, he's disrespecting paying customers. He's disrespecting paying customers, and he's deliberately doing it. He's not even hiding it. He's doing it. And people will say, but he's taking accountability. Guys, first it was the fans. Now it's this Mozambique thing. He's going to keep on doing worse and worse other things. He's going to keep on disrespecting his clients. And all of you guys will keep on defending him. And I'm telling you guys right now, if Scott Mapuma doesn't change his behavior, it's not going to end well. And I'm not saying this as if like I'm hating or anything. I want the guy to do better. If you checked my previous videos, I've always said, Scott Mapuma, just apologize to your fans. And he ended up doing that. But this doesn't grant him the right to continue and disrespect people, whether they're South African or not. You can't do this. That's all I have to say.
6 months later.
Good morning, guys. I just want to say good morning to my fans, to the little ones who were there to see me, First and foremost, I'd love to apologize, you know, to my fans who really, really, really love me and really love my music, you know. It was just unfortunate yesterday that we missed our flights because of the work that we had. Obviously, we tried. You know, we never give up as Keeper Entertainment, as Cosmo Puma. We never give up. We always try to get to the gig sometimes, no matter how late we are, because we believe in never late than better late than never. You know, so I'd love to apologize to my fans. It will never happen again. Thank you.
And my opinion about Scott is very simple. Scott Mapuma is an anti-social goat because we like his music. What does he say again? Batini labo. We love Scott. Scott makes great music.
When I first recorded this, I was actually on Scott's side, citing his anti-socialness and his energy getting depleted by the masses. But seeing this Mozambique thing and obviously seeing a pattern in his behavior, I'm actually now on the side of the fans because they are paying customers and they are subscribing to his music and his livelihood depends on him. He has an obligation to, at least if he's not going to do anything, be cordial to them, show up on time and actually perform what he's supposed to be performing. And being nice doesn't take away from anything. We have to go to the offices every day and be nice to our bosses and be cordial because we have KPIs. And as an entertainer, I think and I believe that it is your key performance indicator how you treat your fans and how you show up for your fans. So you guys are right on this one.
Intrinsically, I don't think he's going to change. Do you think he's going to change intrinsically? No, he's always going to be that antisocial, doesn't like people, get out of my face guy. The only thing he would have probably learned from the circumstance is to what? Keep the F quiet. Don't tell people your problems. And don't go on a podcast. He's probably not going to be in another podcast for a very long time. And also, he needs to understand that in any industry and in any job, there's key performance indicators. Him being an entertainer, one of his KPIs is to entertain people on and off the stage. So now he knows he's got another KPI that he didn't think he had before. Because when he was talking, he said his only mandate was to make good music and that God was the one who was allowing all of this success to happen. Learn the hard way that God, talent, very good, but also very, very, very good on the KPI is your association with human beings. And who do we know that does this great, does this the best? Somizi.
When I see you in the street, you ask for a picture. Tell me what you want me to do. Tell me. If tell me what you want me to do. I will worship the ground that you walk on. Tell me what you want me to do. If you want a picture, then after a picture, you want to give me your bills, the bond, the rent, the car installment. Nkona, my fans, nakamakhatami.
I wouldn't be shocked if Somizi is antisocial in his real life. It doesn't matter, but when he's out in the streets, Somizi gives you Somizi energy. You can't be here, Batini Labo, and then Alfonu Siva in real life. Like, it can't work like that. So that's what I wanted to say about Scott. Do you think we made our point that cancel culture is cancelled and that we should only judge artists? Actually, we should remove the artist. What was my topic again? I've been talking for so long. That we should differentiate between the art and the artist. Sometimes I only focus on the art. Actually, all the time I focus on the art of the artist. I don't care about their personal lives. It has nothing to do with me. Case in point, Pearl Tusi, I know there was a big hoopla about her saying that she doesn't believe in light skin privilege. And I was like, well, that's her own opinion. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't take bread away from my table. Do you think she's a great DJ, by the way?
I haven't heard her work.
Me too. Me too. So, yeah, no, let's separate the art from the artist. to save ourselves, really, just to save ourselves. And I don't think I have any information to say to the masses. Thank you so much for joining today's episode. Let me know what you think. Don't cancel me for my own opinion, because it's my own opinion.
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
It's my opinion. Do comment, do subscribe, and do tell your friends. I will see you guys on Wednesday.